Namaste. Welcome to everyone. Welcome to those who are joining me live right now and to those that will replay later. How are your bodies doing? If you have a certain degree of muscle ache and soreness, sorry to say that's normal. And doing these practices does make you engage muscles you probably haven't activated in a while. So yoga, good signs that it makes your body sore. And what's the remedy? More yoga. So welcome back. Really looking forward to today's session. I want to talk about calm. And calm is like serenity. We say calm your nerves. We say relax. And if you ever tell someone when they're stressed out to relax, they'll fight you back. It takes much more than words to be able to relax. And the Ashaya approach is really a psychosomatic approach where we use the body, mind, and heart to be able to quell feelings of anxiety to get us back to a state of calm. Calm is our natural, normal state. And for many of us, we're operating usually underneath a very subtle or even bigger span of anxiety. And it wears out the nervous system, it wears out the immune system as well. And during this time, we need to strengthen our immune system. So this is your chance. The Ashaya Yoga path is the path of radical affirmation. And we really seek this holistic approach using not just our mind to be able to quell anxiety, but we have to do something. We have to act in our body. We have to find a way to get back to the heart. We have to shift our nervous system. How do we change our nervous system? You can't just tell someone to change their nervous system. So that's what we're going to do today. The muscle in the body that stores anxiety, worry, and trauma is commonly known as the psoas muscle. And this psoas muscle is the muscle in the middle because it's in the middle of the body. It has so many aspects to it. It joins the upper body to the lower body because it starts at the base of the rib cage, T12, and goes all the way through the back of the body to the front of the body and connects the lower body to the lesser trochanter, which is the inner edge of the upper thigh bone. So we have this muscle in the middle that's sort of organizing in a transport system for the upper body and the lower body. We can think, as above, so below. I like to joke and say, as above, so as below. And it's translating how we walk, how we ground ourselves on the earth with how we work from our heart. So we have our, more gross lower centers, chakras are below, and we have the more spiritual centers above, and it is connected through the psoas muscle. It also connects back body to the front body. Back body is our universal nature, front body is our individual nature. This muscle in the middle describes metaphysically a threshold, and it's a threshold whereby we source the depth of our own creativity. In this threshold is the place in between identity, time, and place. What do I mean by that? It's the space in between this and that, now and then, here and there. And at that place, it's also where the individual and the universal touch. It's where our humanity touches our divinity. We're both. But we usually lose perspective on divinity. And what clouds our vision? Fear in the form of anxiety, worry, and a continual repeating of traumas. So we have to get back into the body in this way. So our technique for the psoas is align, lengthen, strengthen. That's what we're going to do. 3 steps. We have to align the psoas. That's done by the inner rotation of the thighs. I'm going to call that thighs back. Then we lengthen it. So we produce a low back curve. Then we lengthen the curve to optimize it. And then we strengthen. I'm going to teach about pelvic integration today and thoracic integration. We're going to do a little bit of core work. Once we get the psoas muscle aligned and lengthened, then we need to do some drills to strengthen it. So take a comfortable seat. If you're sitting cross-legged, or if not, turn your thigh bones in, use both hands. This rolling of the thigh bones in now seats the head of the femur deeper into the back of the acetabulum. That's the cup in the pelvis. You should also notice that you get a low back curve. Then lengthen, draw your tailbone down. And the low belly, a sign that you're doing good tailbone action is your low belly pulls in automatically. So draw your tailbone down and forward. It's a little scoop. Low belly draws in. Join your index fingers and thumbs. Palms down, sit quietly. There's a threshold between the individual, the index finger, and the thumb, the universal. And we want to make all those kinds of connections that we can in the body. So this mudra, the Jnana Mudra, is one of those connections. Palms down. Close your eyes, lengthen your side ribs. Welcome yourself to this new day. Each day we have a new opportunity. There's a new possibility. We can shift, we can change. This could be your day. Then take the head of the arm bones back, lift your throat, draw your palate back, lift the back of your skull. Take some deep breaths now. Inhale, calm. Exhale, inner peace. Inhale, calm. Reflect on what that word might mean for you. Even if you can't access calm right now, just do the practice. Follow the instructions as best you can. When you exhale, let your hips get heavier. That means bring your awareness to the base of the sitting bones and sense, feel, experience the weight. That you had two lead weights as anchors on the sitting bones, and they pull you deeper into the earth. And allow the weight into the earth, help you lift your heart more, top of the head towards the sky. We open to all possibilities. And then come to the place in the middle between earth and sky in your heart and breathe. Anxiety and oxygen cannot coexist. Let's choose oxygen. When you exhale, release stress, release any worries about the future. Remember, this is your hour of all the hours in the day to come home to yourself. Please dedicate this hour to you. Use it well. Let go of all the outgoing thoughts. Start to draw in. We use all the tools, body, mind, breath, heart. We use the body as the focus, the tool to draw us inward to a state of deep calm, deep in the heart, in the Ashaya, which means abode of the heart. There is serenity. There is peace. Allow your awareness to tap into that. Then let it expand and spread throughout your whole body. Imagine your body filling with the light of calm. And then an aura all around you. A radiant golden light. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Set your intention for calm today. Just put it out there. It begins with intention. What do you most deeply desire? What does your heart need? What does your soul need right now? When you put that signal out there, the universe can locate you. You know, like that little window on the computer, you know, there's, may we locate your device. So we say yes, you put your intention out there. Now the universe is aware of you. It locates you and it begins to shower down upon you the blessing of calm. Can you receive it? Let's send light out to everyone who's here with us today, who will practice later, and to all beings everywhere, especially those who are experiencing overwhelming levels of anxiety. From the heart, take a breath in. Namaste. For the practice today, you're going to need 1 or 2 blocks. Some of you might even need 3 blocks, but at least have one available. Okay, come to standing. Take your block, put it between your upper inner thighs. I call this the Pez. The human being, we are not really humans, we're Pez dispensers. Hands on your hips, feet parallel. So engage the blocks, you hug your legs. Then move the thighs back. That aligns your psoas. Keeping your thighs back, draw your tailbone down. The thighs will slightly go forward, but not very much. The action is you want to create an isometric contraction in the pelvis. The thighs go back, and then when you do the opposite action, which is tailbone in, the floor of the pelvis rises. It's very, very good for the pelvic floor and all the pelvic organs and even abdominal organs. It's also known as mula bandha, root support. So thighs back, tailbone in. The side of your thigh should be directly over your ankle. If your thighs go way forward, you're scooping your tailbone too much. If your thighs stay back, you might be hyperextending your knees, not balanced. Remember, place in the middle. Thighs back, tailbone in. Now, you can still have good pelvic integration, but your thoracic integration is still sway back. Many of us do this. I jokingly call it the dismount asana pose after the gymnast comes off the bars. They'll go like this. They jam the knees back and the ribs fly forward. So thighs back, tailbone in, palms in front, bow to your heart so your front ribs pull down a little bit. Observe, when your ribs come down, the waistline should puff back. So you pull your ribs down in order to get the waistlines to flow back and up, and then lift your heart. The place of calm is always going to be the place in the middle between the two extremes. And we need the extremes. We need parameters to find the place in the middle. So thighs back, tailbone in. That's a line and length of the psoas. Front ribs down and back, waistline back and up. And of course, head of the arm bones back, palate back. So in Ashaya yoga, there's the third essential is align. There's pelvic integration, thoracic integration, then shoulder integration, head integration, knee integration, feet integration, hand integration. I hope to cover all those other details at some point. Here we go. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your thighs back. Lead with your heart and fold. Bend your knees a little bit. Remember, the shin bone needs to be perpendicular. The bottom of the knee goes forward. The top of the knee pulls back. And then legs straight. Nice and straight. If you hyperextend, you're not straight. You're over straight. So hyperextended people, you have to bend to get straight. Thigh bones back. Inhale, heart forward halfway. Exhale, bow to inner peace. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, calm. Inhale, forward. Exhale, bow. Relax your neck, your head, your jaw. Remember, when you feel calm, when you relax, you are moving towards your true nature. Root your feet, sweep your arms out to the side. Inhale, come up, pull your ribs in. Exhale, release. Another way to describe the thoracic integration is touch the middle of your ribs. There's a little bone that points down. It's like an arrowhead pointing down, called the xiphoid process. I like to think of that as universal energy channeling down into our individual. There's another arrowhead at the tip of the tailbone. You can't really feel it, but you can touch. No one's looking. And you want to pull this tailbone in and up. So it's an arrowhead that's pulling up. That's like our individual nature reaching for universal, and universal reaching towards individual. It's a two-way highway. So when you pull these two together like a bungee cord that's going to like pull them together, that gives you really good thoracic integration. The combination of pelvic and thoracic integration gives you core integration, and that's what we're going to work with today. Okay, come down onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, wrist creases straight ahead, fingers spread wide. Center of the wrist as wide as the outer shoulders, and knees, make sure they're underneath your hips. Melt the heart. Take your thigh bones back and try to lift your sitting bones. Give yourself a big sway back here. Inhale, look up. Exhale, pull your tailbone down and exaggerate the tail. Dome your navel towards your spine. Look into your heart. Inhale, lift your sitting bones, look up. Exhale, pull your tailbone in, look into your heart. Continue, follow the rhythm of your own breath. As you do this, feel and sense any tight areas in your spine and send your breath to those areas. Coordinate with the breath. When you look up, a big inhalation, let your whole spine hang like a hammock. And then when you exhale, really pull your tailbone down. Now find neutral spine. So that's just the natural curve. So you have to take your thigh bones back to give you the curve and then draw your tailbone in. Try to melt between the shoulder blades as well. Holding this strongly, claw your finger pads. Inhale, right arm forward with your thumb up. Now you have to work harder, so your left arm has to work more. Hold this and then balance. Lift your left leg back. Lift the inner left thigh, inner right armpit, tailbone in. And instead of going into a sway back, just pull your belly in a little bit here. Hold. Now from your pelvic core, push out through the foot and the hand. Breathe. Hug the midline. So the arm hugs middle, leg hugs middle, everything's in the middle. Remember, the middle is the threshold between individual and universal. Exhale, release. If you want calm, you've got to take a step towards the universal. You have to let go. Firm up your right hand, stretch your left arm, thumb up. Hold the midline now. Steady. Balance. Right leg back, lift the inner right thigh. Lift the inner left armpit. Then check your spine, take your thighs back, draw your tailbone in. This pose really teaches you to pull xiphoid tailbone toward each other. And breathe. Engage, align, lengthen, strengthen. Exhale, release, come down onto your belly. Place your hands under the shoulders, toes back. Inhale, cobra. Come up. Lift your side ribs, head of the arm bones back. Now, twist to your right and crawl into salamander pose. Crawl your right knee forward. Flex your left foot. Look over your right shoulder. Lean your left rib cage towards the front. Now this is a big stretch, the psoas. Also stretches the front or side of the abdomen. Exhale down. Inhale up. Crawl your left knee forward. Flex your right foot. Lean your right ribs forward. And breathe. Every stretch should be infused with breath. And then remember, our focus today is calm. So you keep your breath calm. Yes, I'm going to ask you to work because you can't just tell someone to relax. We're going to get into our core here. We're going to be working quite a lot. But I want you to do it from a place of calm. Lean your ribs. Salamander. Exhale. Come back down. Go back. Puppy dog pose. So your hands are out in front. Come onto your knees, curl your toes, and stretch your hips back. Press your palms isometrically. Pull back, armpits up, and melt the heart. Lift your arm bones a little bit more, and that will help you. It'll assist you in a certain way. You know, calm is like grace. And the winds of grace are always blowing, but you have to set the sails. So we have to lift the armpits. We have to do something, and then melt the heart. And then just breathe. Come up, downward facing dog pose. Claw your hands very strongly. Lift your right leg up. Bend your right knee. Go into the doggy P pose. That's what I call, it's like Great Dane, big P pose here. Look over your left shoulder. Keep your armpits level. Root the base of your left shin back. So the ankle, left ankle goes back. And stretch. Tailbone has to stay strong. This is Adho Mukha Svanasana with one leg. I've renamed it to the doggy P pose. And it's Adho Mukha Ekapada Pipiasana pose. Exhale, release. Inhale, left leg up with the inner left thigh, then bend your knee up and over. Keep your armpits as level as you can. Lift your knee a little higher, tailbone in, and then look over your right shoulder at your foot. Breathe. Take the base of your right shin back. See if you can find calm under stress. That's what we're doing here. Okay to rest at any time. Exhale. Release, left leg down. Okay. Lunge your right foot forward. Bring your left knee down to the floor. Right hand to the right leg. Twist to the right. Scissor your legs a little more. Thighs back, tailbone in. Exhale, come back to center. Lengthen your right leg, walk your hands back, root the heel. Here's where if you need blocks, you just put your hands on blocks like this. Drag, isometrically drag your right heel back, tailbone in and bow. Try to pull your ribs in as well. Exhale, bend. Step back, downward facing dog pose. Big breath in. Exhale, left foot forward. Right knee down. Scissor your leg. Lift your hands. That's what I mean by scissoring. Got it? You got to pull in. So you maintain that. Then left hand to the left knee. Twist. Thighs back. Tailbone in. Pull your ribs down. Lift your heart. Back a little bit. So you should be feeling a really good stretch down through your low back area. So this is working our hip, also the psoas and the lumbar. Inhale back to center, walk your hands back, roll up onto the left heel, root the heel, pull back isometrically, and then bow. Full deep breaths. If you did the hamstring practice yesterday, you're probably cursing me, but I can't hear you. Nice deep breath. So remember, yoga brings it on, but yoga also helps to release. And once you release, it's just lactic acid in the muscles primarily, but once you release that, what's left over is strength. Exhale, release, plank. Thighs back, tailbone in. All right, can you do left leg up? Come onto your right fingers. Put more pressure in the left hand and the right leg. And just see if you can lift your right hand off the floor, even for a second. If you can go more, then stretch it out to the side. Pull into your core. Exhale, replace right hand down, left foot. Lift your right leg, hug more into the right hand. Come onto the left fingers. You got to pull into the midline now. If you can, then your arm can go out, left arm out to the side. Hold. Following is okay. Following is learning. Exhale, release, come down. Come onto your forearms, elbows under shoulders. Curl your toes, knees up. Inhale, lift your hips. Breathe. Now we want to try to be, like a plank. Carpenter's dream, flat board. Heart has to melt a little bit. And then take your thighs back, tailbone in, and pull your ribs in. And now do xiphoid tailbone connection. And breathe. Lean to your right, come up onto your left fingers. It's a very quick, smooth movement here. Your feet will turn also to the right. Bus stop, alert. Bring your left hand to your hip if you can. You can get off the bus anytime. Stretch your left arm up. Exhale, sweep it underneath the right armpit. Inhale, up. Exhale, under. Inhale, up. Exhale, under. Inhale, up. And exhale, come down. All the way down. Rest. A couple of breaths. Take time during these pauses, during the repose, that you come back into your calmness. Forearms, curl your toes up. Thighs back, tailbone in, xiphoid tailbone connection. Lean left. See if you can come up onto your right fingers. The feet they lean a little bit left, it's fine. Balance on the right, left forearm. Can you bring your right hand to your hip? Keep your hips a little bit higher. Then stretch your right arm up. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale up. Try to stay stable in your hips. Exhale, under. Inhale, up. Exhale, under. In calmness, there's a certain steadiness. Please pull in to the calmness. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Release. Come on to all fours. Okay, this next one is a therapeutic for the psoas muscle. So you need a block. I'll go this way. Okay, so we take lunge position, left foot forward, right leg back. And place the block on the tall side. And you put the back edge of the block on the quadricep tendon. Where's that? Just above the knee, above the kneecap. Okay. Keep the block from tipping. And once you have the placement, surrender your thigh down onto the block, but don't give up. From your pelvis, now you're going to push through the right big toe ball mound, heel back. Surrender your thigh down, you relax it down, but extend. Walk your hands to the right, bring your forearms all the way down. You may need a block for your forearms here. So please do all the modifications you need to come close to the shape of what I'm doing. Surrender your thigh. What we want to do here is create a kind of, it's like a rolfing sensation on the quadricep. We're stretching fascia right now. And you have to soften and surrender. So you offer your thigh to the block. And then push back through all four corners of your right foot. Left thigh, don't let your knee go too far out to the side. You hug it in a little bit. And draw your tailbone in. And then xiphoid back. Good. Inhale, come up to your hands. Now, right hand is down, and now we go to a twist. So turn to the left, and then stretch your left arm up and over. Surrender your thigh down. Push back through the heel. Inhale, both hands up onto the left leg. Surrender your thighs. Gets more and more challenging. So if this is too much, come out. Surrender your thigh down, but push back. Now, draw your tailbone in, pull your ribs down, see if you can get one arm up. If you've got one arm, try the other. Exhale, release. Place your hands. Don't move the block. Just step back, downward dog pose. I'll show you how we'll move the block. Now, in downward dog, press your heels toward the floor and see which heel goes down more. Almost always the right heel goes down. It's easier because we just stretched the front of the thigh. Your hamstrings are more open now. And the psoas was worked. Okay, take your right hand, move the block 6 inches to the left. Lunge your right foot forward. Bring the back edge of the block to the quadricep tendon. And release the thigh down, but push back through the four corners of your left foot. Try to find that sensation. It's mild, tolerable discomfort. We're always contemplating when is a discomfort really a comfort in yoga. Walk your hands over to the left, forearms down. Surrender your thigh down. Press back through the four corners of your left foot. Don't give up. And breathe. Draw your tail in. Surrender more. Hug your right knee toward the middle a bit. Take the outer right hip crease back and down. Xiphoid tailbone connection. And then come up. Right hand to your right leg. Left hand is down, so you start the twist. Right? Pull your xiphoid process in. And then stretch your right arm up and over. Surrender your left thigh to the block. Come back to center, both hands up onto the right leg. Surrender down. And if you can get one arm up, do that. If you can get both, you can try it. And now it's full weight bearing on the back leg. Surrender your thigh down, tailbone in. Breathe. Enjoy your misery. I am. And exhale. Release. Step back. Downward dog pose. And then check your heels. Uh-oh, the left heel's down lower now. We have to do it all over again. Just kidding. Exhale, release, come on down. Okay. Come on into pigeon pose. Keep the block handy. So, right knee is forward. Curl the back toes under. Hug your shins. Widen your thighs. Take your left hand behind you. You're going to hold the inner thigh, lift it, and widen it. Widen it against your shin, hugging toward the middle. So the inner thigh goes away from midline. The shin goes toward midline. That aligns your psoas of the left leg. Then draw your tailbone down. Now we're lengthening psoas. Maintain all of that. Okay, a couple variations. Number one, walk your hands over to the right. Come down to your left forearm. Twist. Keep the steadiness of your back leg. This is very intense. Okay, so another bus stop. So I'm teaching like 3 levels all at the same time. So if the first level was challenging for you, you're going to stay there. If you can do more, go to the second. Now, if you can do more, bend your back knee, hold your foot, bring your heel to your hip. Look over your right shoulder. The foot is slightly flexed. You can turn the toes out a little bit. And what's nice here is you can roll a little bit in and out to get more of the quad open. Exhale, release. Take your block. This is very interesting now. Is you put the block on the flat side just above the kneecap. Just like we did before, but it's lower. And then just fold forward. Surrender your back thigh down onto the block. Okay. Keep your left toes curled under and your left heel perpendicular. Inhale, come up. And switch. Square your hips to the front, left knee forward. Hug your right shin to the middle, reach your right hand back, hold the inner right thigh, and lift the inner thigh up and widen it. That's the inner rotation, but keep your shin steady. Then draw your tailbone down, hands in front, and pull xiphoid to tailbone. So you get that connection, and then fold forward. Breathe. The midline, the place in the middle, is where time and space connect. There's a threshold of infinite possibility, a creativity that begins to flow, gives you new solutions to problems. It's like a wormhole. We want to go into that midline and explore. When you really learn how to surrender, you get sucked into the threshold. You become deeply connected to your divine potential. And the blessing of that is an overwhelming sense of serenity and calm, regardless of what's going on the outside. Inhale, come up, walk your hands left. Bring your right forearm down and twist. As your torso goes left, widen your right thigh to the right. And final step, bend your back knee. Take hold of the left ankle with your right ankle with your left hand and bring your heel towards your hip. Very deep quad stretch. Deep psoas stretch. And breathe. Okay, release. Okay. Come onto your back. You're still going to use a block. And put the block just like the Pez, in the Pez direction, short end towards you, between the upper inner thighs. Feet are in Tadasana. Bring your elbows by your sides near your ribs. Forearms perpendicular, palms parallel, fingers up. Side ribs long, head of the arm bones back. Lift your throat, squeeze the block. Now move the inner thighs back. So that's a line. Draw your tailbone in, lengthen. It's all for psoas. And then inhale, lift your hips up. Very good. As your hips go higher, pull your inner thighs lower. Outer hips go up, but the inner thighs come down. And then from your palate, just push straight out through your knees. Well done. Hold. Lift your chest a little bit more. Press out through your knees. Press your shins away from you. All the polarities are happening at the same time. You pull your heels back towards your palate while your shins go forward. You lift your hips up while the inner thighs go down. Your heart comes toward your chin while you extend out through your knees. And exhale, slowly release, come down. Remove the block, just rest for a moment. Rest, rest. Then inhale, come up. We'll do one last pose, and I have a little finishing sequence that I want to take you through. All right, so you're on all fours, come into lunge with your right foot forward. And we're not going to go really that far back, just a little bit. The left knee is a little bit behind the left hip. Okay. Bring your palms in front. So this is Anjaneyasana here. It's a posture of devotion. And in a certain way, we want to bow to the experience of serenity and calm. So scissor your legs, thighs back, tailbone in, and then bow to your heart. Front ribs go down and back, waistlines go back and up. There is a kind of devotion here. Find your breath. Be grateful that you have your health, that you have your body right now. And be completely centered within as you scissor your legs. You're in the midline now. Midline is the threshold, the portal to the universal. And then lift your heart, stretch your arms up. Hold like you got a big beach ball between your hands, between your wrists. You're going to squeeze your arms. Bring the beach ball back while you lunge forward. Now, easy does it. Your knee stays aligned in the middle of your foot, but your knee's going to go over your toes now. Stretch a little bit more. Tailbone in. Arch back a little bit more. Breathe. And then just bring your left hand back to your left thigh. For those that can reach, you could bring it back to your calf. Nice, deep, one leg back bend. And release. Inhale to come up. Exhale, switch your legs through downward dog pose. Left foot forward. Palms in front, bow. Calm, serenity, it's the place in the middle. Anxiety is going to pull you out to the edges. It's going to obscure this space. And so with the anxiety gone, you have clear seeing. You go deep into the place in the middle. That's where the heart is. Now engage. Thighs back, tailbone in. Bow, ribs down, waistlines back. Lift your heart, stretch your arms up, and then lunge deeper. And the left knee will go forward, not inside, not outside, straight ahead. Center the knee in line with toe 2 and 3, but it's going beyond the toes now. Tailbone down more, keep your xiphoid tailbone connection, but then arch back. Go deeper. Breathe. 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 Right hand to the back thigh. Arch back more. For those that have more capacity, you can bring your hand back to your calf. You can go all the way back. And exhale, release. Downward dog pose. Come down, knees down. Okay, come sit, legs stretched out in front. Come into Dandasana pose. It's here. Manually turn your thighs. For those with flatter backs, just elevate your hips. So come up onto a blanket. We're trying to keep the low back curve. Okay, Tadasana, feet. Keep your right leg in front, bend the left knee back. Janu Shirshasana. Turn your torso to the right, exhale, fold. Hold the outer shin, hold the little toe edge of your foot if you can reach. And stretch. Each exhalation, soften a little more. Spread your toes, hug the midline. Calm requires action. It's not just words. Widen your thighs, tailbone in. And then from your pelvis, root the hips down. And from your pelvis, lengthen. Bring your torso way over to your left now. And bring your right forearm down perpendicular to your knee. You can put it on a block too. And then just turn your heart up to the left, left arm up. And this is like crescent moon. Just do a crescent. Awesome. Now keep your left hip down. Widen your left hip way back. You should feel a very deep stretch in the lower left back of your spine. Okay, so go easy with that stretch. We don't want to overdo that. For those that can, you can also take a belt around your foot so you have a belt. But this is the modification, is do this. For the bus stop, you're going further. Walk your right fingers way out. Bring your right shoulder to the inside of the right knee. Hold the little toe edge of your right foot, left palm up, supinate. Hold the inner edge of your right foot, and then widen your elbows. Widen the midline. Outer elbows back, inner armpits back. Look out the window. We're looking like through the glass of the threshold here. Inhale. Come up. It's Parvrita Janushirshasana, very powerful. Switch. Bend your right knee back. Manually turn your thighs. Exhale. Fold. You're going to twist a little left. Hold the left shin. Now you can see I've got my left hand forward. It's about the level of my knee. And instead of collapsing the left shoulder back, watch, my hand goes here. So because this is going to collapse as you go, I want you to keep all of your left ribs lifted. And then you fold. Lift. Then fold. As your belly twists to the left, widen your right hip way out to the right. Inhale, walk your hands over to the right. And your left forearm now goes perpendicular to your left knee. And then stretch your right arm up and just lift your heart and your belly up towards the right and do a crescent. Very intense stretch. As you reach your right arm towards the foot, widen your right hip back behind you more. And that action, it's like if you could sweep your right sitting bone back, that gives you way more stretch. So it's not how far you go in the pose. It's the efficacy of your action. So widen the right sitting bone. Can you access that? Then draw your tailbone in, ribs back. That's it. And the final stretch, take your, slide your left hand way forward and your left shoulder is going to go in towards the inner knee. The key to opening up into this pose is hollow your groins back. Stick your butt way back. Then right arm comes to the little toe edge of your foot or belt. You hold the belt up here. Supinate your left hand, hold the inner edge of the foot, and then you got this elbow window. Open the window more. Push your left elbow to the earth, right elbow to the sky. And it's like the elbows form a little eye, like you're gazing out behind your eyes at the threshold. Inhale, release. Okay. Lie on your back, knees to chest. As you're ready, stretch your legs out into Shavasana. Good work. Let yourself get very comfortable. Arms are about 3 to 6 inches from your sides. Legs about 18 inches apart. Let your feet relax and turn out. There is a passive psoas stretch that I'm going to actually guide for the first 1 minute. So bend your knees. Your feet are flat on the floor now, but widen your feet wider than your hips, almost to the edges of your mat. And then bring your knees together. So the knees kind of fall into each other. And then let the knees, the weight of the knees, stabilize each other. Inner rotate your thighs lightly. Scoop your tailbone under. With the thigh bones in this position now, the head of the femurs begin to descend toward the earth. One of the things that tightens psoas is when your thighs are forward. And as a gesture of fear and anxiety, the thigh bones do move forward. And then the psoas stiffens. It's just to protect us. Body has good intentions. We need to learn how to intervene with our nervous system when it goes out of control into fear or anxiety. And yes, you can do it by taking meds and everything else, and I recommend whatever you need that helps, do it. But this practice, with all of its intricacies, is a very valuable way to return to your source, natural, anatomically efficient, that weaves together all the dispersed parts of yourself into an integrated, meaningful matrix of relationship with open communication. Let the breath flow through your whole body now. Let it bring a sense of calm, like a welcomed, warm summer breeze. It makes me feel fine. Then as you're ready, stretch your legs out on your mat. With each exhaling breath, imagine you can descend and go even deeper. Give in to the pull of gravity. It's there, we don't often notice it. But let your legs and pelvis get heavy. And then when you exhale, soften your xiphoid process towards the earth. Let your ribs open like an accordion. Release the head of your arm bones to the earth. Relax your neck and your throat. Soften the insides of your mouth. Relax your jaw. And let your eyes descend to the back of the eye sockets. Like a very soft, silky hammock that embraces the backs of the eyes, giving you a vision unity, where all polarities resolve, all struggles, all problems disappear for a time. Then imagine a dome of white light all around your body. Let this be a protective enclosure that keeps all stress and anxiety out. And let the universe shower and pour down blankets of calm, inner peace, serenity, blessing of calm in the form of your breath. Extend it through your fingers and toes. Calm every cell. Serenity. Every fiber drenched in inner peace. And very slowly begin to move fingers and toes. Take a gentle stretch. Bend your knees and roll to the right side. Come gradually up to a seated position. Sit up tall. Index fingers and thumbs touch the threshold of the infinite. Close your eyes. Feel your hips and pelvis now, especially low back. Give your hips to the earth. Then lift your heart toward the sky. Find the place of balance between infinite and finite, between individual and universal. Let that draw you into your heart, and there have a reunion, a recognition of your true nature, which is pure light, pure joy, a kind of silent joy, inner joy. Just like happiness, calm, is an inner job. May you return to the state of calm throughout your day, just by remembering. May we serve those who we meet this day from the heart with great concern, great compassion, and yet deep serenity. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. Send a collective light of calm to encompass the globe. Take a deep breath in and let's chant Om. Namaste. Thank you so very much for spending this hour with me. If you enjoyed the practice, if you feel genuinely heart moved, please share the link with all of your friends. Think of people who need to relax right now. Think of people you know, even your family, who need to find a place of calm. Reach out to them with this video. If they can't do all the physical actions, you could just bring it up to the last 10 minutes so they can do the deep passive Psoas release and Shavasana based in serenity with the visualization. Very powerful. We work body, mind, and heart into an integrated, meaningful matrix of integration, love, and joy. I offer you all my love.